Hi guys, so have you ever honestly thought that if you were more consistent you'd achieve your goals and you'd be much further along in life than you are now? Have you ever thought that being consistent would actually increase your odds of success? If so, then this video is for you. I struggled with being consistent for a very long time, but for the past, I'll say, couple of years, I've been able to get out of that rut. And this video, I'm going to show you what I did and the steps I took to get out of it. So let's get into it. Hi guys, my name is Dionne Tweneboah. I'm an attorney, I'm an entrepreneur, and most recently I became an author of my book, Conquering. My mission is to empower you to live a life by design. To live a life where at the end of the day you can comfortably and confidently say that you unleashed all your greatness and you unleashed all your potential. So let's get into it. I want to talk about consistency, being consistent, taking consistent action. For me, for a long time, I would set a goal but take no action, or I'll take action sporadically. Maybe I'll do one thing today, not do anything again for the next 3 months. But even with content creation, I started this YouTube channel late last year, I believe, and for a long time I wasn't creating content. And it's not because I really didn't have anything to say, but it was just because of these reasons. Number one, lack of why, lack of clarity. So I wasn't starting with an end in mind, right? With my goals, I didn't have a strong enough why. So when I got a little bit tired, when my schedule was off a little bit, when things didn't go as I planned, I just stopped. Like, I just quit. I wouldn't say quit, but I just paused, right? Number two is I had no clarity. Let me give you an example, right? Let's say you went out with your friends, like you had happy hour, girls' night, you know, it's pouring rain outside by the time you come out, and then you go and sit in your car. You turn on the engine is working. You turn on the lights are working. You turn on, basically everything is working but one thing, the windshield wiper. And it's pouring rain outside. You and I both know that you won't get far. Even if you get going, you won't get far before you crash into something, right? Because when the vision is impaired, there is no movement, there is no momentum, like you can't go. And that's it with life. If you don't have a clear vision, you're not going anywhere. So that was my problem at that point. I didn't have a clear vision of what exactly I wanted. I always say life is a just employer and to pay you the wages that you ask. But what do you want? And at that time I didn't know what I wanted. I lacked clarity. I had no clear vision of where I wanted to go. My vision was impaired. So I was very inconsistent. Another thing was, in as much as I had set goals, I had not set the goals in a way that were achievable. So I have a video that I share the 7-step framework of setting and achieving goals in record time, and I'm going to link it there, and I recommend you watch it because it will really break down the goal setting process. So I had goals for a very long time, but I was not achieving them because I was not doing any of the 7 steps processes that I was supposed to do, and I was not taking action on the goals. An essence of goals is to have a roadmap. It's for clarity. It's for direction. It's like a compass, right? So if you don't know where you're going, there's no essence of a compass, because where are we going? It's like I call you, let's say, hey girl, how are you? Hope you're free next week, we're traveling. What would be your next question? Where are we going? And you would ask that question because the destination would inform so many other decisions, like what you're going to wear. Even your hairstyle. I'm a natural hair girl. So if I'm going to go on a vacation where it's like a beach destination, or where I'm going to either sweat a lot or swim, I'm going to do a different hairstyle than if I'm going somewhere that I'm not going to sweat or I'm not going to swim. You get what I'm trying to say? You're going to pack differently. Because obviously if you're going to Utah for a ski trip, you're going to pack differently than when you're going to the Bahamas for a beach vacation, you know. Where are we going will be the question. So my question was, what do you want? And because I didn't know what I wanted, I didn't even know how to get there. So I was not taking any action. So that was it. So I feel like for me personally, those were the top 3 reasons why I believe I was not consistent. So how can you be consistent? Number 1, be clear on your why. Why do you want what you say you want? Why do you want to be slim and fit? Why do you want to be debt free? Why do you want to be healthy? Why do you want to start investing? Why do you want to be wealthy? Why do you want to stop drinking? Why do you want to do what you're doing? Because I realized that if the why is strong enough, you will be able to follow through. But if the why is something flimsy, like you want to start a business because you realize that that's what everyone is doing now, that is not a strong enough why. So when the going gets tough, which it will get tough, you get stuck and you fall off the wagon, so to speak. Let's say you want to stop smoking. If it's not a personal reason why, if it's not a why that is for you and it's for because of the opinions of others or because of how others see you, you will not follow through. So what is your why? And make sure it is your why, not society's why, not your family's why, not the why you think is going to make you chic or the why you think is going to make you popular or the why you think is going to make you relevant. What is your why? Why do you want to set that goal? And why do you want to follow through on that goal? So that was number one. Number two is, how are you going to achieve it? Like I said, I didn't even know my why, so I even lacked the vision there. But when the vision is clear, the path is also clear, right? How are you going to achieve that goal? What are the goals you're going to set to achieve? What are the action plans? What are the strategies? What are the habits you're going to change? Because your life up till now is an accumulation of the habits and the actions you've taken in the past. If you want to change your life going forward, you have to change your habits and your actions going forward, right? So you have to start taking consistent action in line with where you want to go. You have to start taking consistent action in line with the person you want to become. So what is your game plan? What is your strategy? What is your action plan to be able to? You have to have that action plan, because at some point, your mind will become fuzzy. At some point, you'll be so confused, you'll be so stressed out. But if you have a set goals, if you have action plans of A, B, C, D, when you're stressed, when you're confused, you just look at the plan and, oh yeah, I have to do B, go to the gym, or I have to do C, eat smooth, like drink a smoothie, or I have to do D, go for yoga. You know what I mean? When there's an action plan, it's easy for you to follow through and it's easier for you to be consistent. So that's number two. And number three, one thing was changing your identity. I realized that when you want to change your habit, right? Because as human beings, we act in accordance with how we see ourselves. We act in accordance with our self-identity. So if you want to change your life, you have to change your self-identity. Let's say currently you're overweight, you're broke, you're living in a neighborhood you don't want to live in, right? In order to change that, you have to take on the identity of someone who is physically fit, wealthy, living in one of the most prestigious, luxurious neighborhoods in your country, right? In order to do that, you have to ask yourself, what I did was, I asked myself, Dionne, if you were, let's say you had a six-pack, you weighed 180 pounds, you lived in Monaco, what would you do? Take on the identity of that person. How will that person talk? What will the person do? How will that person spend their time? What kind of books will the person read? What kind of things will the person do? What kind of food will the person eat? How will they even plate their food? Because those little things cumulatively change your self-identity, and you begin to identify yourself as that person that you want to become. I know it's quite tricky, but the mind works in a very funny way. You can trick your mind to believing who you want to become. You can not trick, but then condition your mind to identify you as who you want to be. So instead of saying I want to become a content creator, say I am a content creator. So if you wake up in the morning, you ask yourself, how will a content creator spend their time? Will they be spending their time aimlessly scrolling on content on social media, or will they be sitting there strategizing and actually creating the content? You know, if you want to be a good mom, how would a good mom be? Will they wake up in the morning upset, yelling at their kids, or would they wake up in the morning, try to nurture their kids, make their kids feel loud, make their, like, how would the person you want to be act and behave? And lastly, after you've changed your identity and you've set your goals, take action. Sometimes we don't take action because the steps seem so big, they seem so grandiose. We feel like, oh my gosh, I have to go through all this thing, and that alone can paralyze us. But what I want you to do is, like I think it was Martin Luther King that said, you don't have to see the whole staircase, you just have to see the next step. Just do the next right thing. Just do the next right thing that you know you have to do. So let me give you an example. You want to be an author. Like I wrote my first book. How did I write the book? When I said I go to write a book, I was like, oh my gosh, Dionne, I'm not even going to find the time to write the book. But what I did was, I just wrote one page. I just wrote because I knew my why. My why is really to empower women to live a life by design, and that's why is a strong enough burning desire in me. So I know that was part of the reasons why I was able to write the book. But in action steps, what I did was I just took out my computer and just wrote one page, just one, and that one page started with just one sentence. Start with the smallest thing you can do. So that's all for today, but I'm going to link the video on goal setting that I know is going to help you transform your life in as little as 30 days, and I'll see you here again in my next video. Thank you guys. Bye.